What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today I want to give you guys some helpful hints and tips on how to remove negative feedback from your eBay account. When it comes to eBay, your feedback score is super important because most buyers always check your feedback score before they make a purchase with you. And what I learned from experience is that if you have really good feedback, you can actually raise your prices sometimes 5 or maybe even 10% compared to some of your competitors if your feedback rating is higher, because buyers will just trust you and just do business with you over the other competitors, even if they have the same exact item in the same size, whatever it may be. So like I said, feedback is super important. So today I woke up around my regular time, and I usually don't check my feedback on eBay as often because ever since my feedback rating on eBay went over 1,000, I stopped paying it as much attention. But of course I still check it every once in a while, and I realized that I had a new negative feedback rating on there. Now, when it comes to negative feedback, it's not the end of the world. A lot of great sellers have it, and sometimes buyers are just not happy and they just give you negative feedback without giving you a chance to make things right. So anytime these things happen, I don't stress about it too much, but I did want to see what the negative rating said. And this one in particular was basically just an international buyer that was complaining about the cost of shipping and customs. When it comes to international orders, for me, I like to use the eBay Global Shipping Program. And I tell you guys all the time, that's probably the best way for sellers to do business international on eBay, only because for us it's really easy, really simple. But the thing is, it sucks for the buyers because they have to pay a ton of additional fees, and it usually takes a lot longer. So that's something to consider if you guys are selling things on eBay. The global shipping program definitely has its pros, but it also has its cons as well. Some people don't like it, some people love it like myself, but it is what it is. So this particular buyer bought that jacket internationally. I don't remember which country they were in. They said the shipping cost was 69 bucks, and they also talked about the cost of customs. I'm gonna just do a quick screenshot so you guys can see the feedback score, because I don't exactly remember what they said. But as soon as I saw that feedback, usually what you would do is contact the buyer initially and just try to ask them to change their feedback, try to work out some type of negotiation. But I knew for this particular instance, I had nothing to do with the cost of shipping, because I think I charged $12 to ship the jacket out, and that's how much it cost me. So I wasn't really trying to make any money on shipping. But once you're shipping things out through the global shipping program, eBay makes their money basically paying a bunch of other service providers a little chip of the money when you're using the global shipping program. Buyers usually are paying a ton of money, especially internationally. Alright, y'all, so as I'm editing this video, I just wanted to give you guys some more perspective. Now, I realized that this buyer's name was super familiar, so I checked my eBay messages just to see if I had any prior contact with this buyer, and lo and behold, this buyer actually sent me a message and was originally complaining about the cost of shipping and the import charges, and they even asked me if I could lower the cost of shipping, and of course I said no, because with global shipping program, you can't necessarily change the fees that are charged to the buyer. So I let them know that I couldn't change it. And then they even offered to make the payment off of eBay and just through PayPal. And of course, anytime you do anything like that, that's definitely going to be really bad for your eBay account. And eBay would sometimes even still charge you the same amount of money they would charge you if you made the transaction through PayPal. And sometimes they could even suspend your account for doing stuff like that as well. So of course I just told the buyer, no, I have to do the business through eBay, and they ended up still buying the item. So from the very beginning, they knew the cost of shipping, they knew import charges were going to occur, but they still wanted the jacket very badly, clearly. And after all of that was said and done, like I said, this was like almost a month ago, because when it comes to global shipping program, it does take a very long time for the item to arrive. And like I said, I almost forgot that I had this conversation with this buyer. But trust me, these buyers are definitely there. You gotta watch yourself, and you gotta protect yourself at all costs. So definitely keep your eBay messages. Don't delete them, because you never know when something like this might come up, and you might need these messages in order to protect your neck when you're calling eBay and trying to get these type of stuff resolved. So keep that in mind, and let's just keep watching the video. So for this particular instance, I just called eBay up, and I actually have their number saved in my phone, because it's, as an eBay business owner, you kind of have to have them on speed dial, because some of these things tend to happen fairly often. Maybe once, maybe twice a month, something like this might happen on my eBay account. So as soon as I called, I got somebody on the line, and it was really smooth, and all they said was that sorry for the inconvenience. inconvenience. They put me on hold for a couple of minutes and they were able to remove the feedback because they knew for a fact that I had nothing to do with the cost of shipping, and they removed it quickly with no problems. And I was actually really happy about that because I was actually worried that they would tell me that I needed to contact the buyer, and then the buyer might actually just, instead of leaving me negative feedback, it might have left me neutral. And neutral feedback doesn't affect your feedback rating, but I already have 2 neutral feedbacks on my eBay account, and I don't necessarily want any more of those. So that's something that I was a little nervous about, but thankfully the person on eBay was able to remove that very quickly, very easily, and it only took a couple of minutes. They said it would take about 24 hours, but it was finished within about 5 minutes after I got off the phone with them. So if this thing the thing about removing negative feedback, if you call somebody from eBay, they're not always going to be able to do that. Sometimes they might direct you to the buyer and make you fill out some type of form, like a change feedback request form, and that might take maybe a day, maybe 2 days for it to actually finalize. But in this particular instance, I was able to get that removed immediately. So I'm not going to tell you guys to always just call eBay and they're always going to fix the problem, because that's definitely not true. Sometimes eBay usually sides with the buyer, and as a seller, we are usually left out, and we just have to deal with it and just chalk it up as cost of business, especially when it comes to like returns and paying for return shipping labels and stuff like that. Sometimes it sucks, but for this particular instance, eBay definitely looked out. So with this video, I just wanted to give eBay some props on actually looking out, and just make sure that I give you guys some helpful hints and tips in case something similar happens to you. And also, if you guys want some more content about eBay feedback and just how to garner more feedback on eBay, like I said, I got over 1,000 in a relatively short amount of time. So I made a video on Patreon, so you guys can check that one out, as well as a bunch of other videos on my Patreon account where I'm really talking more about eBay and giving more of like a eBay 101 series. So I'm going to keep putting out content there. I got some more content coming up soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Underrated. This lightning's causing thunder lately. So lend a heart with no repayment. My interest rate is low.